Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya cha mayi arpitamano buddhir mame vaishyasya samshayah. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu, at all, kaleshu, times, mam, me, anusmara, go on remembering, yudhya, fight, cha, also, mayi, unto me, arpita, surrendering, manah, mind, buddhi, intellect, mam, unto me, eva, surely, eshyasi, you will attain, asamshayah, beyond doubt. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Please repeat. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Purport. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet Krishna Loka without a doubt. So this is an often quoted verse by Srila Prabhupada, and it's a very practical transition step on how to become Krishna conscious. Because in this world, there are two kinds of duties. One is conditional and one is constitutional. Conditional duty means our duties according to our conditioned state. What is this conditioned state? We are called conditioned souls. If you have read Prabhupada books, even a little bit, you will come across this phrase called conditioned soul. What is conditioned soul? So soul we are, Atma, and conditioned means we are now under a certain set of conditions. Our body, every body, there are 8.4 million species of bodies. Ashitim chaturashchaiva lakshamstan jiva jatishu. So jiva jati, there are 8.4 million species of life. And in each species, the soul is conditioned by a set of rules under which it can function. You see, for example, a completely liberated soul, a mukta purusha, like for example Narad Muni. Of course, there is a huge controversy in Indian cinema. They portray him as a clown. They portray him as a person who is interested in creating fights among people. But that is complete offensive representation of Narad Muni. Narad Muni is one of the greatest saints in the entire universe. He is one of the 12 Mahajans in the entire universe. You know, Mahatma word is quite loosely used. They say Mahatma Gandhi, someone who is politically inclined, they're calling him Mahatma. But that's not Mahatma. According to Bhagavad Gita, Mahatma means, who is Mahatma? Krishna defines Bahunam janmanamante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudevah sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. That great soul, Sam Mahatma Sudurlabha. Durlabha means very difficult to see, very difficult to attain. Sudurlabha means even more emphasis. So, one who is surrendered to Krishna 100%, he is a Mahatma. So, what is the set of activities for such a Mahatma? What does he do if he surrenders to Krishna? After that, what? Just like that, and that's it. No, there is activity after surrender. महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, this great souls is Mahatma, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha. So they are under the protection of the divine nature. Now this divine nature means Yoga Maya. So there are two Mayas, broadly speaking. One is Mahamaya and one is Yoga Maya. Maya means basically the energy of Krishna, the deluding energy of Krishna. Mahamaya is what we are under now. And the representation of this is Durga Devi. Durga Devi, the reason her name is Durga is because Durga, Ga means Gamayam, to go. Durga means very difficult to go. A fort is called Durga because you cannot come in or go out very easily. So fort is called Durga. Any enclosure which is highly fenced and guarded, that is called a Durga. This material world is similarly a Durga. We are unable to go out from here. We are unable to get moksha. It's very, very difficult. Mama Maya Duratyaya, Krishna says. Impossible to come out. But Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Now, a prison is very difficult to come out. Once I'm inside, I cannot come out. But if I become an obedient citizen again, if I stop my criminal mentality, then I can be released. I can come into the free, open society. So there is a way out. How? By becoming a lawful citizen. By sufficiently repenting and amending my mentality and my action, I can come out. And how can I come out? Not by my own strength. They have to open the gates for me. Okay, now you come out. But I have to satisfy them, the government and the prison authorities, sufficiently so that I can be released by their mercy. Exact same situation. We are actually entrapped in this prison house of material existence, and therefore she is called Durga. And to come out of it, Maam evaye prapadyante, Krishna says, you have to surrender to me. Durga is who? She is the potency, the energy of Krishna. Her name is Vaishnavi Devi. She is a very great devotee of Krishna. There is a beautiful verse in the Brahma Samhita. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्ति रेखा छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि. What is this? The external potency, Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, which is the Yoga Maya, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. Chhayeva yasya bhuvanani bibharti Durga. She is sometimes referred to as Adi Parashakti. But Shakti is in the possession of the Shaktiman. Shakti cannot be without a Shaktiman. Now, when I lift something heavy, that is my power. But I am powerful and therefore I can lift something and exhibit my power. Power cannot be exhibited on its own. So there has to be a powerful. So this idea, sometimes even Hindus have this idea that ultimately, mother, the supreme mother, mother is not independent in producing children. There is a requirement of father. She's not alone. She has all the ingredient for creation, ingredients, but she cannot do so without receiving the soul from the semen of the man. So that is explained. Karmana daivanetrena jantur dehopapattaye striya pravishta udaram pumso retah kanashrayah. The soul enters into the womb of the woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular body. So similarly, this is actually what we are seeing in this current world is a prototype of the cosmic situation as well. So Durga also is not independent. She is completely chayeva yasya bhavana. Chaya means what? Shadow. Just like when I move, my shadow also moves without a delay. Similarly, when Krishna orders, she moves without delay. She moves in complete, like there is no, no, I don't want to do it. No, there's absolute obedience. Durga conducts herself. So this, she is the prison authority, prison warden of this material world. And therefore you see that famous picture of Durga Devi with a trishul in the heart of Mahishasura. Mahishasura Mardini. What is that? Oh, she killed a demon with a fancy weapon. No, there is a meaning to that. So actually, the Mahishasura is a representation of us. We are actually Asura. Who is Asura? Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha Vishnu bhakta smrito daiva asurastad viparyayah. Two kinds of people only in this world. One is Daiva and one is Asura. Who is Daiva? Vishnu bhakta smrito Daiva. Who is Vishnu bhakta? He is Daiva, godly person. Asurastad viparyaya. Even if one is the great bhakta of any devata, he is still classified among asuras if he is not a devotee of Vishnu. We have example, Hiranyakashipu, who is a great devotee of Brahma. Ravan, who was a great devotee of Shiva. Bhasmasura, great devotee of Shiva. And there are devotees of Durga Devi also. But they are still classified among asuras. But a Vishnu Bhakta is never classified among asuras. Like even Hiranyakashipu's son, when he became Vishnu Bhakta, he is devotee now. He is no more classified as asura. So, Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva Asurastad Viparyayah. So, Durga Devi is here to punish all the asuras. So, Mahishasura actually is a representation of all of us. We are also asura, more or less. We are not completely surrendered to Krishna. Only when we completely surrender to Krishna, we become Mahatma. Until then, we are Duratma, like an asura. So, what is the Trishul now? Oh, instead of 1 point, like bayonet, like a spear, just put 3 so that it will be more damaging. Some fancy, style. No, there is a meaning. Those 3, piercings, they are actually Tapatraya. And they are lodged into the heart of the Mahishasura, piercing the heart. So we are being pierced by the 3 kinds of miserable conditions in this material world. Tapatraya. What is Tapatraya? We use the word Tapatraya. But what is the meaning? Let's break it down. Tapa and Traya. Tapa is actually root word is tapa. Tapa means tapasya. Tapasya means when I voluntarily undergo some inconvenience to achieve something. That is tapasya. But tapa means something which is imposed on me. Like tapasya means I am taking the difficulty on my own accord. I am sacrificing something. I am, exerting myself to achieve something. That is tapa. But tapa means it is imposed on me. The difficulty is imposed on me, not by my own free will. Tapa. So the difficulty, the misery is inflicted upon us. Traya. What is Traya? 3. The word three in English actually comes from the word three in Sanskrit. And traya means three types of. What are they? Adhi adhyatmik, adhi bhautik, adhi daivik. So miseries caused by my own body and mind, miseries caused by other living entities, maybe my neighbors or some people, or even it can be a dog who just bit me, or some snake or some insect, mosquito just bite me and then I get malaria. These are I'm doing fine, but somebody else comes and causes misery. Adhi bhautik. Then adhi daivik, by higher arrangement of devatas, like for example natural disasters. They are not accidental calamities. They are coordinated events. They're completely coordinated and with full reason. Now, there is no injustice in this world actually, although it appears so, that some people are getting justice and some people are not. But if we see in a broad perspective, there is only justice, there is no injustice. Sometimes we do not know what is the cause of the somebody suffering, or why he's just a small boy, why is he suffering, what did he do wrong. We don't know what he did in this previous life. We don't know. We are seeing in a very limited perspective, and therefore we cannot fathom, and therefore it appears distorted to us. Oh, there is some injustice going on. They say, oh, if God is there, why these things are happening? But the thing is, because God is there, these things are happening. Because He knows what we have done. We don't remember. So anyway, so according to our previous actions, we are, being inflicted by these three types of miseries. Tapatraya. And that is the indication by the Trishul, which is lodged in the heart. And why it is heart? Because it affects us. We are affected by that. If there is a natural disaster, how much our heart, we feel so much pain, we may lose some loved ones, or something happens, or we may ourselves be completely injured, or even death. Adhibhautik, when we get a disease, or when we do some stupid thing, we are walking with a phone on the road and then we get hit by a car. Not his mistake, my mistake. Who asked me to walk with the phone in the hand? Or I was walking or something, I just trip and fall. That's my mistake. That's adhyatmic. So this is called tapatraya. And not only these miseries, these three types of miseries, there are also four cardinal miseries. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Even if I don't have any types of misery in my life, I cannot escape these four. Janma. Janma is extremely miserable. Why? The baby comes out crying. Not that he comes out laughing. He comes out crying. Why? It's painful. Very painful. And not only during the birth it is painful. Inside the womb, mothers know the pain of their own, pregnancy. But the child undergoes way more pain than the mother. Because his skin is so delicate and he is bitten by worms inside. The whole description is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, what goes on inside the womb of the mother. And this was written down, spoken by Kapila millions of years ago, way before ultrasound even was imagined. People think, oh, that was prehistoric times, some dinosaurs were there. No, that time already there was no dinosaur. Kapila Muni was there and he was speaking about this, what is happening inside the womb. That is the technology of our Vedic science. We don't need scanning machines and all these things. We take knowledge from the Shastra. How to know whether boy or girl? Also there is Shastra. So in the 7th month, when the mother feels the baby going to the right side, that is the boy. Left side, girl. No need to scan. There is so much science we have. So anyway, so these are the conditions under which we are operating. And given our body, for example, bird can fly. I can't. I have limitations. Whereas you see Narad Muni, who's a Mahatma, he's freely roaming. He doesn't need aeroplane, he doesn't need spacecraft. Now they're trying to land on Moon and Mars and other planets. No need. He can go at will. He can go to Mars at will. And our scientists can't see any life forms on Mars. But there is civilization there. Not even on the Mars, sun On the sun there is civilization. Krishna says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam. Vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave bravit. What did he say? The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. This is called the Surya Vamsha. So the sun, the grandson of Vivasvan, even the sun god's name is also given, Vivasvan. Now we know Surya Bhagwan, they will say like that. That is a post. But the name, just like Prime Minister is a post, but there is a name for the Prime Minister, right? So similarly, the name of the person is Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, Vaivasvata Manu. Manu means the father of mankind, the progenitor of mankind. The word man comes from the word Manu, Manav, Manushya, man. All this is coming from our Sanskrit. So now, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. His grandson was on earth and his grandfather is in the sun planet. Look at that. In the family. And this is the proof. So if there is a king on the sun planet, there must be a kingdom, there must be civilization, there must be buildings, there must be roads. You can't imagine, hey, what are you talking about? There's full of fire. Yes, so that is the condition. We cannot go there. We will be burned from 1,000,000 miles away. But when they have body made of fire, they can live there comfortably. Like we can't live comfortably in the water. But that does not mean nobody can live comfortably in water. Vast majority of the living entities on earth live in water. And it is when they come on land, they are like that. When we go into water, we are like that. So you see, these are the conditions I'm saying. That's why we are called a conditioned soul. We can see under certain conditions. We can hear under certain conditions. Ultra violet we cannot see, infrared we cannot see. But some animals can see. Who can see? In the eagle can see. Oh, that's interesting. I knew about moose. Moose, reindeer, they can see on the snow. When the wolf has white color, so it actually blends in with the snow. But it cannot hide from the reindeer because they have ultraviolet vision. And the wolf appears black against the white snow background. So, it's interesting. I've seen a documentary as well. They show what is the vision of the reindeer when it sees the wolf and what is our vision when we see the wolf. We see it is almost completely masked. But reindeer, it's so prominent. It can hide all it wants, but it cannot hide from the reindeer. And the other example I always give is deer. The lion or the tiger can stay motionless right in front of the deer, and the deer will never be able to see. Only when it moves, then the deer notices the movement. But it can stand right in front, or not stand, usually the crouch. Because you stand, you can see the shape. But you crouch, as long as the lion or tiger doesn't move, they cannot see. Because they cannot see the different, they only see two colors, like we see three colors and the combination of them. They only can see two. They cannot distinguish. They cannot, even a tiger. For us, it's plain sight, but for the deer, no. So, what I'm saying, in dog, they can hear ultrasound. Not ultrasound, what is that? Over our human decibel, over 20,000 hertz, what is that? Ultrasonic sound. They can hear. They have dog whistles, which humans can't hear but a dog can hear. So, we are operating under certain conditions always. So that's why we are called conditioned soul. And as long as we're in this human body, we also have certain conditions under which we can operate. But the biggest factor that can contribute to our freedom from this conditioned life is our intelligence, our developed intelligence, and our ability to understand God if we take to the science of God. We cannot understand God with our own intelligence. But we can understand God if we take the instructions of God. Like if I want to know about you, I must know from you. I should ask you who you are, where did you come from. Like that I can know about you. Similarly, if you want to know about God, we can't just speculate about God and know Him. No, we have to know from Him. And He reveals Himself in texts like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and similar other Vedic literatures. So, our conditioned duty. So, we have two types of duties, as I said. One is conditional duty, one is constitutional duty. Now, what is this constitutional duty? What is constitutional? Constitution means, like a country has a constitution, and this is the law, and this is how things should work. And if somebody flouts those rules, and there has to be a justice system, there has to be an enforcement system, like the police and the judicial system, where they again bring it back to the constitutional position. So our constitutional position, our real original position, is to be a servant of Krishna. Jiver Swarup, hoy Krishner Nitya Das. Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Mana Shashthanindriyani Prakritisthani Karshati. We are originally part and parcel of Krishna. Part and parcel, just like my finger is a part and parcel of my body. And to nourish the finger, I have to nourish the stomach. Now that may sound counterintuitive if you do not know how the body works. Hey, if I want to feed the finger, I should be feeding the finger. Why I should feed the stomach? But no, if I understand a little bit, then I can understand, oh yes. And then the energy will be supplied to every single part of the body. So similarly, if I want to be satisfied, if I want to be happy, I cannot be happy on my own. I have to serve Krishna, who is like the stomach, who is a supplier of happiness to everyone. Or the root of the tree, which is supplier of nutrients to all parts of the tree. To water a gigantic tree, I just need to water the root. The entire tree, every single nook and corner of the tree will receive that water. But if I try to go around and water every leaf, flower, fruit, branch, twig, that's not the proper way. That's not the proper way. So similarly, we cannot make everybody happy, but if we make Krishna happy, then we can make everybody happy. Some people may become unhappy, like asuras. That's only because they are not now acting in their constitutional position. But purification will happen. Like for example, Prabhupada was arrived in some European, I think Germany, somewhere. I don't remember which city. So he arrived at the airport and the devotees were receiving him. And, there was some, vandalization on the walls. They wrote something bad about the, Hare Krishna temple, because they always are singing and dancing on the streets. So people did not like some people. Many people enjoyed, but some people did not like it. And sometimes they complained against the temple to the authorities. Oh, they're very noisy people, they're making so much noise. So when Prabhupada came to know about this, then Prabhupada said, oh, that's good. That means they have heard. They're getting purified. They may not like it. Like a child does not like when a doctor gives injection, but he requires that. So he may be immature to understand the effect of that and the reason for that. He just is concerned that, he's getting some pain. Similarly, people may be concerned that, some noise is coming. But actually that's purifying sound. They don't mind all the traffic noise. They don't mind all the factory noise or whatever, bickering that goes on in the, offices and all this, politics that go on in family and politics. So much sound is going on every time. They don't mind all of that. But chanting Hare Krishna is a nuisance for them. Look at that. This is Asura. So when we become, but the thing is, when they hear, whether they like it or not, they will get purified. Even by just hearing. What to speak of humans? Even the animals and trees get purified just by kirtan. This is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Haridas Thakur explains with Vedic references how even the plants and insects, everybody get purified just by the sound of the holy name of Krishna. What to speak of human beings? So we have to understand that if we want to be satisfied, we have to serve Krishna. Yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyant tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara chayatendriyanam tathaiva sarvar hanamachyutejya. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. This is the other thing. They say Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Huh? Manav Seva is Madhav Seva, they say. Some people say. So once Prabhupada was, some Indian person, he came to Prabhupada, oh, Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. So Prabhupada wanted to correct him. So, okay, if Manav Seva is Madhav Seva, then Madhav Seva is Manav Seva, right? If A equal to B is equal to A. So Madhav Seva is Manav Seva. So to satisfy Madhav, you have to serve all Manav, every single human being on earth. But you can't do that. So you can't sufficiently satisfy Madhav. But by Madhav Seva, you can serve all Manav at one time. So that's why this Madhav Seva is superior. Actually, that's true. Manav Seva is not equal to Madhav Seva. Because why only Manav? What happened to the Pashu? Why kill the cow or the animal, chicken or whatever it is, and only Manav Seva? Why? Some people argue, oh, then you are killing vegetarian, you are killing plants. What about that? So the answer is Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. First of all, we cannot eat non-living things like stone. We can't. We have to eat something living, right? Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. That is the rule of the material world. So then how to escape sinful action? Either we're killing plant or we're killing animal. Killing is killing. Some say, oh, they don't feel pain. It doesn't matter whether they feel pain or not. Killing is killing. Then how come vegetarians are more pious or what? Actually, according to Bhagavad Gita, vegetarians are also not pious. Then what should we eat? So Krishna has a solution. यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. We are not talking about vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Whatever is offered for sacrifice, it can be eaten. Now, what can be offered for sacrifice? That is the next question. Oh, I can sacrifice some goat and eat, no? No. We're talking about sacrifice to Krishna. This Balidan of a goat, to Kalima, all these things, how it came about. Actually, Kalima doesn't eat this. You know that? Kali doesn't eat that meat, that goat. Although one is offering. She is a Vaishnavi Devi. Vaishnavi means what? Vaishnavi don't eat even onion and garlic. She is the wife of Lord Shiva and Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Lord Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnavas in the universe. Why he will eat? And she will eat his remnants only. She is the greatest Pativrata in the entire universe. So why will she eat all this nonsense meat? She doesn't eat. Who eats then? So she is taking care of the female ghostly beings, just like Lord Shiva is taking care of the male ghostly beings. Bhutanath. Those who have sexual intercourse at a wrong time, for example. So there are times, there is actually a huge science on this, when to even conceive a child, everything. There is a huge science on it. So when one suppose has sex in the Sandhya time, like sunrise or sunset or noon, then Lord Shiva will inject those ghostly souls into the body of that woman. And such people, they will take birth among human society, but they will be of horrible character. Today we have terrorism going on, we have all these kinds of nonsense elements going on. Why? Why there is an increase of this in Kali Yuga? Because people are doing whatever they want. They think it is a private affair. I can do secretly whatever I want in my bedroom. It doesn't matter. No. It's going to have ripple effects. Massive. There is history on this. Kashyapa Muni. When Diti forced him, his wife forced him to have sex at the sunset time, twilight time, he was telling her, no, no, we should not have it this time. But she couldn't control herself. And then he agreed. But then after the thing is over, then he told her, you have, of course, he was a powerful sage, he could see everything. You have two boys in your womb, and they're going to be the worst demons in the universe. They will cause so much harassment for the brahmanas, for the cows, for the women. It is unimaginable. Then he also said how they will die also, he said. They will die at the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. At that time, the wife, she became a little bit happy. At least they will die at a Lord's hand. They will not die because of a Brahmana's curse, at least. Because Brahmana's curse is even worse. If you die at the hands of the Lord, at least you get moksha. So mother is mother, although they are going to be rascals, but she has some affection. So to know that, okay, they will get moksha at the end, okay, that is, she was happy. This is all given. So, Bhutanath, so she doesn't eat all these things. So the female ghostly beings who she kind of mentors and, gets them elevated slowly, slowly. So they eat these things. So for Krishna, what can be offered for sacrifice? So here he describes that in the 9th chapter, 26th verse of the 9th chapter. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. And this is the reason we should only eat Krishna Prasadam at all times. Many people have this idea of Krishna Prasadam. Prasadam means something, something to rub the tongue with. That's all, some small little bit. That is Prasadam. Prasadam should be eaten like, one little bit. No. Whatever we eat should be only Prasadam. Otherwise, we are eating sin. We just saw. What are we eating? We are eating sin. You see? Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So, conditional duty and constitutional duty. So now we are in this material world. We are engaged in so many duties which we have created for ourselves. We think we have to raise a family. That is a big duty. Take care of parents. That is another duty. Serve the boss at the company, at the workplace. That is a duty. Some people have national service, like maybe the soldiers. So there's all kinds of duties, right? But Krishna says, while we are engaged in this, we have to transfer ourselves to our original duty, which is to serve Krishna. That is what today's verse is all about. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. While doing your duty, you remember me. Krishna says. Now, how to do that? How to remember Krishna while we are engaged in these conditional duties, according to our conditioned state? Because I think I'm this body, I think so and so is my wife, so and so is my children, so and so is my parents. This is based on our bodily relations, right? But actually, in the ultimate issue, we are not related to any of them directly. We are related to them through Krishna. That means Krishna is the father. Aham bija pradah pita. Krishna says, I am the father of all species of life. So every single soul is related to us. What is that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means? The whole world is one family. Vasudha means the planet. Vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam. Vasudha means planet, the earth. Many meanings, but it is the whole world. Vasudha eva. Eva means certainly Kutumbakam, our family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. How is that possible? Whole world is one family. It is possible When we accept Krishna as the Supreme Father, these United Nations will fail. It is already a failure. It is an epitome of failure at all levels. It is failing because they are not taking the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. You want peace? Shanti? Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. You can achieve. How? When we understand Krishna is the only enjoyer, we have to satisfy Krishna. Not my political ambitions, your political ambitions. No. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Krishna is the owner of all planets, including ours. We are dividing the planet. No, this is my line of control. This is your line. We are drawing lines on the map and saying this is mine, yours. And we are fighting for that. This is why there are wars. As long as we think it is ours, there will be somebody also thinking it is theirs. And there will be war. But Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, if we understand, Krishna is the only owner. We are only, given a certain quota. So previously, before, in the Vedic times, the countries were there. Yes, there was kingdom, there was kings, there was army. But on what basis? Not on political ambitions and economic ambitions. What was the consideration? The consideration was that religious principles be upheld. And if a powerful king is ruling in this kind of kingdom, and the neighboring kingdom there is not so powerful king, but if he is ruling religiously, making sure that everybody is following the Varnashram system and everybody is trained to become a devotee of Krishna, then he will not attack. He will not attack that kingdom. Okay, they are doing that. So he has spies in all kingdoms, yes. But what does the spies do? They see whether everything is religiously being followed or not. And if he gets information that somebody is going against religious principles, then there will be yuddha. That is called dharma yuddha. Today's position is karma yuddha. It's not dharma yuddha. They're not fighting on basis of whether they're following religious principles or not. No. They're fighting on political ambitions. Oh, I want this land. At the land, nobody can live anywhere there. Like for example, India, China, there is some conflict going on in Galwan region. Actually, nobody can live there. But you see, there is fight. China wants that land for no reason. I mean, come on, stay in your lane. No, must encroach. Fighting for a piece of land which nobody can live on. This is our current position. And of course, on the other side, there is Kashmir, another problem. And in different parts of the world, there are similar problems going on everywhere. NATO and Russia, that is another thing. Unnecessarily pushing their borders towards Russia. So these kinds of things will happen. There will be no peace. United Nations. That is it's a oxymoron. Why then just put one nation, singular nation, like Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj. When he became king, the entire world was under his rule, entire planet. Bharat Maharaj, why now India is called Bharat? Actually, the whole planet is referred to as Bharatvarsha in the heavenly planets, Swargalok. The Swargavasis, they refer to this planet as Bharatvarsha. The entire planet was Bharatvarsha. And it reduced and reduced and reduced, now only India. So, in our conditional duty, while we are in the conditioned life, we have to somehow or other transition to our constitutional duty. And how is that done? I'm working, where I have time to think of Krishna and everything. So that's why Krishna shows Arjuna, because he knows what excuse everybody will give. Yes, Prabhu, you're saying that I should chant Hare Krishna, but actually I'm very busy, I have job, I have this. So Krishna knows. That's why he put Arjuna as the example. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. You are fighting, Arjuna. You think of me and fight. Arjuna can say, no, I'm very busy. Every moment I have to shoot arrows. And so many people are directing their arrows towards me. I have to, cut. They used to cut every arrow in two. They used to how much precision you should have, how much focus you should have to do that kind of from sunrise to sunset, 12 hours without stop, and 18 days the war went. How much focus, how much um, energy is required, right? But Krishna says, "Ma manusmara yudhyacha." You think of me when you are fighting. How is that possible? It is possible by love, preeti, by love. There is a abominable example, but the opposite is very true. I'll show you. This is by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Paravyasanini nari vyagrapi grihakarmasu tadevaswadayatyantar navasanga rasayanam. What is this? If a woman is attached to a man other than her husband, she will appear very busy in carrying out her household affairs, but within her heart, she is always relishing feelings of association with her paramour. Now, this is a horrible example in this world. It is a horrible character if a woman is like this. But there is a lesson to learn here. Now, she will do her household duties so expertly that the husband has no suspicion on her character. But inside, she is always thinking of the other man because her affection is there. So, similarly, in this world, we are engaging in all kinds of duties. But if one's affection is for Krishna, whatever the duty the woman is performing, she will have affection for the paramour. If she has that strong affection, she will always think of the paramour. Similarly, if we have a strong attraction for Krishna, whatever we are doing in here, we will be able to remember Krishna. For example, a soldier is fighting on the border. I think there is a song also when I was a kid that time, there was this soldier movie. One soldier movie was there, no? And they have this song. They will write some chitti aayi hai, some letter came from home, and he's thinking of the wife. So how is he able to think of the wife when he's on the border? Because affection. When one is in danger, one is in hopeless situations, one can only think of one's loved ones. So, if our loved one is Krishna, instead of loved ones, if our loved one, if we love Krishna, then we can remember Krishna. So, now the thing is how to love him. Ma manusmara yudhyacha we have to do. Mayarpita mano buddhir, Krishna is saying in today's verse. Invest your mind and intelligence in thinking of me. Mayarpita mano buddhi. Arpita means what? Offering our mind and intelligence to him. What does that mean? That means our mind should always be thinking of Krishna. Our intelligence should always be evaluating the philosophy of Krishna. Always thinking of Bhagavad Gita teachings and how to execute devotional service to him. Always using our intelligence how to serve Krishna. Mayarpita mano buddhi. So this is possible when we have love for Krishna. So how to increase that love? Like in the US dollar bill, it is written, "In God we trust." In God we trust. Namesake, they don't really have that much trust. But at least they say it, "In God we trust." But actually, how can you trust someone when you don't know that person? Suppose, you want to go somewhere, suppose you meet me directly on a street or somewhere. You won't give me your wallet. You won't give me your card. Oh, I don't know what he will do. I don't know who he is. Now, the person may be perfectly honest, but the other person does not know that he is honest. So he will not trust him because he does not know him. So to trust God, we have to know God. And unless we trust someone, how can we love that person? If we don't even have trust, where is this question of love? So, to love God, we have to trust God. To trust God, we have to know God. To know God, we have to listen to God. And this is why Bhagavad Gita is important. This is why Srimad Bhagavatam Kṛṣṇa Katha, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Vidyantastohi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam. You know, we do not know how much Krishna loves us. We do not know. And therefore, we sometimes even accuse him of giving us pain, giving us suffering, giving us hard times. Yesterday also somebody asked me while I was on the live stream, why is Krishna giving me so much hard time? We do not know how much hard time we are giving Krishna. He does not want us to suffer in this world. Just like a father, he does not like his children to suffer. But when the child does something wrong, father has to punish. It's not that the father likes to see the child crying. That's why he slaps the child. No. He likes to see the child become a very upright, honest person. Character, full of character. That's why when he does something wrong, he will punish him. It is not out of sadistic mentality of the father that he tries to beat the child and see him when he's crying, oh, he's happy now. No, father is not happy. So, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantah Sthohi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma or Super Soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. When we listen Krishna Katha, when we listen about Krishna, the glories of Krishna, then our affection for Krishna automatically arises. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitya Koroya Udaya, Krishna Premas Nitya Siddha Sadhya Kabhunaya. It is not that we have to achieve love for God. No, it is dormant in our heart. The only reason why we are not loving God at the moment is because we have forgotten Him. The moment we forgotten means what? Oh, no, I don't know Him. No, why you say forgot? No, yes, we forgot. For many millions of lifetimes we have been away from Him, that we have completely forgotten Him. Now when we hear about Him again, our lost love for the Lord will reawaken in our heart. So just to give you an idea of how much Krishna loves us, I will show you a verse. This is from Brihad Bhagavatamrita. This verse is spoken by Lord Narayana. When he spoke this verse? When a wandering soul like us, his name was Gopakumar, he was going in this material, he fell down from the spiritual world, from the Vaikuntha. He thought he can be a hero on his own. He went into this material world, and then millions of years he suffered here in different life forms. And finally, he became a human being, and then eventually he came in the association of devotees of Krishna, and he became a perfect bhakta and went back to Vaikuntha. And when he went back, let me actually show you a little bit before. 2 verses, 3 verses before. You see here, the Lord said to him, Shri Bhagavan Swagatam Swagatam Vatsa Dishtya Dishtya Bhavan Maya Sangatotra Twadikshayam Chiram Utkantitena Hi. You see, Lord is welcoming him. Swagatam Swagatam Vatsa. Please come in. How much the Lord is actually. And now let's see actually what he says. The Supreme Lord said, welcome, my dear boy. I am fortunate. He's saying what? You are fortunate. No. I am fortunate, he's saying. How humble he is. Boy, now you're fortunate. You have come to Vaikuntha. No. I am fortunate. Most fortunate to meet you here. For so long I have been eager to see you. Krishna. We are saying Krishna is giving us hard times. How much hard time we have given Krishna? Millions of years Krishna has been waiting for the soul to return to Vaikuntha. Same with us. Okay. Now next what he says. Bahuni gamitanyanga janmani bhavata sakhe kathanchidapi mayyabhi mukhyam kinchidakarina. My dear friend, you have passed many lifetimes without paying any attention to me at all. See, Krishna is saying, Narayana is saying. Then finally he says this. This has to be the most painful verse in the entire Shastra. Asmin asmin nihehaiva bhave bhave madunmukha ityashaya tavatyantam nartitosmi sadagyavat. Krishna is saying this now. Narayan, for so long, hope had me dancing like a fool. What is that? Narayan is saying to the Gopakumar, who just came back to Vaikuntha. Hope had me dancing like a fool, thinking perhaps in this lifetime, or this, or this, or this, he will finally turn his face to me. That means every single birth we are taking, the Paramatma is also in our heart, right? He's following us. And he's thinking, oh, maybe in this lifetime he will come back to me. Then it doesn't happen. Next life, oh, maybe in this lifetime he will come back to me. In this lifetime. And he says, I was dancing. I was dancing with happiness. Yes, in this lifetime he will come back to me. But did not happen. So like a fool I was dancing. Who is giving who hard time now? Who is giving who hard time? We are giving the hard time to Krishna. Where is our love? Therefore, we have to understand that Krishna actually loves us. Suhridam sarva bhutanam. If we really understand this, how guilty we should feel. You think the Lord wants us to suffer? So, Suhridam sarva bhutanam. I am the greatest friend of everyone, Krishna says. And it is true. Why does Krishna have to come to this world to display his Leela and speak Bhagavad Gita? And after that, Krishna, everybody accuses Krishna, oh, he's a womanizer, he dances with so many women, and this and that. Huh? Here all the accusers of people. Why he has to come? He doesn't need to come here. He has his Vaikuntha Dham, he is happy there. Why he has to come here? He is coming here to reclaim us. And yet we do not have any gratitude at all. We in fact accuse him. Oh, he asked Yudhishthir Maharaj to lie. He danced with the gopis. We have all things to say about Krishna. This is the rascaldom that we have. Huh? And Krishna is trying to save us. How eager he is to see us. So if we understand this, and you see, he even says this next verse, Chalam tanalabhe kinchid yenadyam paripalayan nibandham swakritam bhratar anayam yatmanah padam. Narayan says, I wanted to bring you back many times. But you see, but I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode, dear brother, and still follow the timeless laws that I have myself have created. See, I wanted to bring you many times back to me. And in the material world, I have set certain laws, so many laws. You have to do this, So, the only way I can bring you back is to break those laws. Without breaking those laws, there's no way I could bring you. So that means, in other words, we did not follow any law of Krishna. We were just doing our own thing here. Yeah. So I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode. And then, of course, that's why Krishna sends his devotees. He himself comes. He leaves behind books like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was not spoken for Arjuna. It is spoken for us. Arjuna is personal friend of Krishna. Why does he need? He is personally with Krishna himself. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Andhakar. When you're with light, like a sun, why do you need a torchlight? You don't need. So he's not in darkness, Arjuna. It appears like that. But he asked those questions for us, and Krishna answered those questions for us. So he leaves behind the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, for us. So he is making all arrangements at all times, at all places, to reclaim us. So if we can just understand this, then we will, develop some faith and some, affection for the Lord. And that's how Ado Shraddha, our faith has to become strong. Then we will automatically want to reciprocate. We want to reciprocate. And we want to start taking his name first. Swayam eva, what is it? Atah Sri Krishna namadi nabhavet grahyam indriyai sevan mukhehi jihvado swayam eva spuratyadaha. When we start serving Krishna with the tongue, service starts with tongue. Chanting Krishna's name and eating Krishna prasadam. These two things. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Svalpa punyavatam rajan vishwasa naiva jayate. Now, those who are not pious enough, they don't have faith in Mahaprasad of Krishna, Mahaprasade, Govinde. They don't have faith in Govinda. They don't have faith in Nama Brahmani, the holy name of Krishna, and Vaishnava, the devotees of Krishna. They don't have faith in these things. But if we can get some faith, how to get punya? Because those who are swalpa punyavatam rajan vishwasa naiva jayate. Those who have a little bit punya, that means almost zero punya. They don't have faith in these things. How to get faith? Punya shravana kirtanaha. How do that swalpa punya have to become more punya? Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Hridyantastho hi abhadrani. Antastho hi abhadrani. Hridyanta means whatever dirty things in our heart, they will become cleansed. And then, yes, we will see again properly. Vidhunoti suhrid satam. Then, of course, we will engage in the service of Krishna actively. So, in this way, we can actually, while conducting our life here, if we can sthane sthita shrutigatam, ज्ञाने प्रयासमुदपास्य नमन्त एव जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्तां स्थाने स्थिताः श्रुतिगतां तनुवान् मनोभिर्ये प्रायशो जितजितोऽप्यसितैस्त्रिलोक्याम्. This is what Brahma is saying. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, whatever we are doing, wherever we are socially situated, if they throw away the process of speculative knowledge, instead of speculating about everything, throw away that, and with their body, words and mind, offer all respects to descriptions of your personality, means Krishna's personality. He's speaking to Krishna, Brahma is speaking to Krishna. And activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. You can conquer. Ajit means what? Who cannot be conquered. Ajita jitopyasita trilokyam. We can conquer the unconquerable Lord just by the process of hearing about the Lord. So, this is the best way. So please come. Our temple here may not look like, the temple with a full structure and everything. But here we are the only temple in Singapore who is functioning like a temple. Because a temple is a place where Bhavadiya Vartam is happening. Krishna Varta, Krishna Katha is happening. And that is where, what is that? Narayan said to Narada Muni, Naham Tishtami Vaikunthe. I am not in Vaikuntha or in the temples which are the embassies of Vaikuntha. Naham yoginam hridayeshuva. The yogis are meditating on me, but actually I am not in the hearts of the yogis also. That's not my preferred abode. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta. Where my devotees are glorifying me, singing about me, describing me. Tatra tishtami narada. There I live. Even if it's under the tree or even in hell, if there is Krishna Katha going on, there is Krishna. So a temple is a place where Krishna Katha is going on, and we can come and associate with the devotees and hear this and get our faith back and become a devotee back, just like what we were before, millions of years ago. So the best way, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, how to do this? Simple. Here, come and hear and take some books. Let this not be limited to this time when you are coming for Bhagavad Gita class on Sundays. And for whatever reason, if you miss the class, and that means you're not hearing anymore. Take some books. Every day read. And then the faith will steadily increase. Last verse before we leave. Tatam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha tajjoshanada svapavargavartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. Shraddha ratir bhaktir, three things. Anukramishati. In association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. Shraddha first, our Shraddha becomes strong. Then Rati means attraction, and then Bhakti, which is devotion. So a preliminary attraction is created when we hear about Krishna, and that will eventually lead to bhakti. We use the word bhakti very loosely. Oh, desh bhakti, patriotism. This bhakti actually cannot be used anything for anything other than Krishna, because our relationships with everything else is transient. It is temporary. So okay, I'm big desh bhakt. Okay, for example, okay, I'm very patriotic. I'm always fighting on the border, maybe against Pakistan, maybe say for example, in India. Because I'm always thinking of Pakistan, 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 Pakistan. Next life I'll die and then go take birth as Pakistani now. Yes, this is 8th chapter, 6th verse of Bhagavad. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaita kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. Whatever I was thinking of in my life constantly, that will determine my thought at the time of death, and that thought at the final moment will determine my next life. Now, if I'm thinking of my enemy all the time, then I will become a part of my enemy in my next life. So you see, where is my patriotism now? Now I will be fighting for Pakistan against India. Look at this. So we can't. We have to think of Krishna so that our last thought is about Krishna, and we go back to Vaikuntha. And who preaches in this world about this message? He is the real freedom fighter, not the person who dies for a country and so he brought us freedom. No, no, no. Real freedom fighters are the devotees who travel everywhere and who take up all kinds of inconvenience just to free people, just to give freedom to people from this Durga, which is the fort of the material world. Yeah? That is the real freedom fighter. The Vaishnavas, they are the real freedom fighters. There was one illustrious meeting of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur with Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose is the greatest freedom fighter in India, right? Not even Gandhi, actually. It was due to Subhash Chandra Bose's efforts that India got actually independent. Nobody cared about Gandhi. Britishers were not afraid of Gandhi at all. They were very happy, in fact, that he was not causing any disturbance. Subhash Chandra Bose was the one who actually moved the things. Although he did not get enough credit thanks to Congress, Nehru, and family. Anyway, but Subhash Chandra Bose met, you know who? Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he asked, you have many young men with you. He asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you have many young men with you and you have this Gaudiya Math which is, everywhere. And I quite respect what you're doing. But I request some of your men at least, to join the Indian National Army. Since you have so many young men, we need to help for this freedom cause. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, look at them. Look at them. They're so thin. They're always fasting. What they will be of, they don't have much strength to, fight there, and the soldiers, you see. He just told like that, sent him away. They will not be of much use to you. This was the incident relayed to us by Srila Prabhupada. Somebody else told something else. I do not know how to check the veracity of it. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually, it seems, told him that you are fighting for the freedom of our country. But I am fighting for the freedom of all souls. Mine is also a freedom struggle. And I also want men. We want to help everyone. Then actually Subhash Chandra Bose apparently appreciated what he said. But he said, I am too far in this. I have gone too far in my path already. Now I cannot turn back. And then whatever happened. They parted ways after that. But he had respect for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But the thing is this. He was fighting for a material freedom. I mean, after some time, we will die, and then we are again in the grip of Maya. I mean, we're always in the grip of Maya anyway, even when we get freedom or not freedom. This is an illusory freedom, actually. Real freedom means, like Narad Muni, free, absolute freedom. We have actually forgotten what freedom is. We think another kind of dependence is independence. I want from this dependence to this dependence, and that is independence. That's not independence. That is just a different dependence. That's all. It's not that, oh, I get away British from my country and now I'm independent. No, I still have to have a government. I still have to do everything, right? So that's another form of dependence. But real independence means to depend on Krishna. We cannot be absolutely independent, but we can depend on the absolute independent entity who is Krishna, and he will take care of us. So if you did not remember anything, one thing remember. Hear about Krishna, chant Krishna's name, read Bhagavad Gita, become devotee, and that is the best way to come out. Even while we are in this material world, we can engage in Krishna Seva and become perfect in our life. Alright, I'll stop here. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I don't have much time to take questions, but we will. If you have any questions, you can always discuss upstairs, after the prasadam or during prasadam. So just a small announcement.